All right. We're doing our first podcast called Built Different AI. And you know what? The robots are going to kill us.
How intelligent they are.
Yeah.
What are you doing? It won't work. You can't win. Oh, you a rapper now, you using an AI. They're all gonna laugh at you. They're all gonna laugh at you. Watch out. Watch out. All gas, no brakes. Watch out. They said I couldn't.
All right. Welcome to our first broadcast called Built Different AI. I am the co-host, Bernard Jackson Sr., and this is
Jayden, Gillame.
Yeah. So this is our first venture into the podcast system. You know, we're going to try something out, and we think that's going to be very interesting and very popular moving forward. So basically, the premise of Built Different AI is that we know that there's a lot of trepidation and fear and about utilizing AI. And what we're going to do, we're going to be the test subjects of AI. So basically, we're going to document our journeys for about a year. And we're going to come on for weekly episodes and tell you how those journeys went. At this time, I'm going to give Jaden the floor and let him explain what his journey is and how he got into AI.
So I actually heard about AI for some time, but I had no interest in using it at first. I knew about ChatGPT, and I wasn't worried about the other AIs, just ChatGPT at the time. And I did use a little bit, but at the time it had no interest to me at the time. And then years later, when I started, I am trying to remember when I started using it.
Was it around the time about second?
It was
Yeah.
it was around
It was about April. We had a conference. I was talking about the utilization of AI.
Right.
So that's kind of sparked the topic about AI. But I'm gonna let him finish his story.
But yeah, as he was talking about, I saw he was talking about, I was talking about it a lot, so it had me kind of interested in it a little bit. So I kind of looked into it, started using the tool a bit more, and then I kind of saw how the AI was kind of getting some stuff done. See how it answered questions, give me certain types of information for types of projects and works I was working on. I was like, oh, this is actually really helpful. So I just decided to start using it more. And then I was playing with it for a little bit, playing around with it a little bit. And then as I got comfortable with it, I decided to start using it outside of my own little projects and stuff.
Yeah.
And just decided, like, no, I could probably really start some with this. So as time went on, I was glued to my phone a lot.
Yeah.
More than usual. I downloaded ChatGPT on my phone, and I was just chatting to it a lot, asking it questions, how I can start my career, how I can do this step by step in full detail, and it actually gave me full on steps on how to do this, how to do that, and my memory's not the best, so it's hard to kind of keep track.
Yeah.
So that really helped out a lot. Kind of keep track on what I was trying to do and what I've been doing. So that also actually gave me more motivation on how it gave me memorization and things that was keeping track of what I was doing.
Mm-hmm.
So because of that, I started using it even more. I became a little bit more, even more reliant on it. Because of that, it gave me an idea that these companies they've been creating their own AIs and type of stuff like that.
Yes.
And I was curious. I wonder if I can create my own. Because I hear not only just create your own AIs, but your own websites, apps, and tools. So I was looking into that, and I found out that it can code. And I was kind of limited because I was using a free version at the time.
Yeah.
So I decided to get more of a more higher paying version, which gave me less limitations, and which allowed me to do much more than I could do before.
Mm-hmm.
And then because of that, it gave me even more closer. How do I say it? More. It brought me more closer to what I was trying to do.
Yeah.
More faster, more efficient.
Yeah.
So I was also he was telling me stuff. Bernard was telling me some stuff about how he was using his AI, and it even gave me ideas. He was telling me how he was using it to make music, and I didn't even know it could be used that way.
So I'm gonna segue on what he just said right now because that's a beautiful part about the introduction to the AI. So then, me as an old head, that's what they call me. They call me Unc around here, But me as an old head, I was very hesitant about using AI because I grew up on Terminator. I grew up watching all these sci-fi movies and them talking about, the computers are going to take over the world. So I was very hesitant about using ChatGPT. And then when I started using it, like I was like, wow, but what I realized was I was just using it just like a regular Google search. Like I didn't realize everything that it actually you can utilize it for. So the more time I start spending with it, I just started watching YouTube videos, and again, I was just on ChatGPT, just using the free version. I would print like images and crazy things, because it was such a new thing. But then when a couple of months ago, I watched a video and the lady was talking about Anthropic and Claude, which is the AI system. And I start to realize, like, okay, the way you utilize this correctly is you have to prompt it because I didn't know anything about hallucination. I didn't know anything about the fact that it could give you false information. So one tidbit, right? Make sure you keep your critical thinking skills when you're using AI because if you're just trusting purely on it to just give you the correct answer, you may be sadly mistaken if you send out a paper and you didn't proofread it because it will get names mixed up. It will do all that. So proofread your AI. But basically what I started doing, I started prompting the AI to be very specific and move all the fluff and all the misinformation out. And it just started getting better, 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 better. I have no tech background. I don't know anything too much about computers, coding. That's not my background at all. But what AI has done is like it simplifies everything for you. So I just started to kind of utilize it personally in my life. I started using Claude around March, and I could tell you a couple of things that helped me figure out. It helped me figure out how to with my student loans. It helped me with some credit card debt. Like it just really just gave me the right information because I wasn't just using it as a Google research, right? I was prompted it as for its expertise. This is what you specialize in. Show me this. And then I will also push back. I didn't allow for it to just give me any type of answers. So that's what sparked my usage in AI, and it kind of talked to a lot of people about it. And which is the premise again of this show. We have a significant age gap within us. So with this generation, it's the AI is hitting at a perfect time, but it's still a lot of people that are hesitant about using it or utilizing it in a way that is not developing them. Me and my generation, we have the old heads that are like, nah, I'm not going to use that. It's going to take away my creativity and all that stuff like that. But we are going to show you exactly how AI can be done and utilized to actually develop your life. So you guys are going to see the changes occurring within our lives. Like that's the best way to kind of show you how AI works. And we're going to document everything that we do. And then we're going to present the show and let you know what was the pros, what was the cons, everything that we wish we would have known and everything we wish we wouldn't have known, but you're going to see our development in that. So, you got anything after that, Jaden?
But I'm gonna go back to what Bernard said before about AI making mistakes. Even the AI itself will say it will make mistakes as well. So it already warns you ahead of time before you kind of become too reliant on what type of information you get from it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it does say that on there a lot, So sometimes you start to get comfortable with it and you're not realizing that it is prone to make mistakes, right? So you definitely want to have a keen eye to what you're utilizing. Again, we're not talking like we're expertise, right? We're just people that are utilizing it, right? So with this journey, right, we're going to have two separate lanes. So I'm going to be using Anthropic. Now I may dabble into like Gemini or still use ChatGPT because I think every AI has different strengths and weakness as well. But my lane is going to be Anthropic, so I'm going to be using Claude, and he'll tell you what his will be.
So currently, the one that I'm using right now is Google Gemini, but it wasn't the first AI I used. As I mentioned before, I was using ChatGPT first. I used that for at least, I think, a month, I believe, a month or two, and then I was starting to learn about more other AIs and what it could be used for my purposes. And like Bernard said, the different types of AIs have different types of strengths and weaknesses. So the one that I was using, ChatGPT, was kind of limiting me on certain parts that I couldn't really get past through. So I was kind of searching other types of AIs that I could probably use and utilize more better than I was using ChatGPT. So I was looking into Google Gemini, and it offers more tools and different types of tools and systems, benefits compared to ChatGPT. And I decided to use that. I kind of decided to migrate to that instead. And the way how it explains things and its reasoning is not as great as ChatGPT, but as tool, it's still it's becoming a little bit more popular now. They're adding more advanced tools and features to it. ChatGPT, no, Google Gemini. So it's helped. It's kind of brought me more faster, more closer to my goals faster than ChatGPT has. Because these new tools that they're constantly always adding every week, which feels like it. Um, the Google Gemini, it can go through my Google Docs, slides, sheets, emails, and it's basically very versatile with how much it offers and how much it's literally connected to Google's ecosystem. And you can also use different types of AIs to kind of combine them together,
Yes.
and you can make some good use out of that. Create some amazing tools or apps or websites or whatever type of purpose that you're using it for, or personal stuff like daily purposes, like Bernard I mentioned earlier. But
And speaking on the daily thing, so I talked to him about the things that he was using AI for, and it started to enhance how I start to use AI. So basically, from the younger generation to the older generation, and vice versa, we were just bouncing ideas and what he was using the AI for. So I didn't even know certain things that was occurring and how you utilize AI. So it started to even enhance the way I utilized it. So basically, like I remember like sometimes we live in a place where it gets really hot, and you need to have your water intake, and sometimes I get very busy. So basically I had prompted my AI to be like a water reminder. And then what it did, I gave it permission to go into my time clock app, and it set all the times that I should be drinking water. Like it activated it all. So alarm would go off. It's like, okay, yeah, it's time for you to drink water. Now, a lot of you may have known that, but I did not know that at all. I gave it access to do that, and I have a workout log. And if I'm not feeling where I type it in, and it's telling me, are you're hydrated, or must fatigue. It shows me all these particular things that I'm actually feeling. So when I log in, I can actually log and see the sessions and see my progressions and see the things that I need to work on. And that's will be the premise from Built Different AI. In a couple of weeks, we're probably not even going to look the same. Hey, my hair might look like his, and he may be growing dreadlocks. Like, that's the whole premise of this. So, this is our first go at the podcast, and we are very excited. So, again, our premise for this particular podcast is we're going to allow for our particular AIs to kind of construct a weekly goal. And we're going to try to attain that goal strictly by using AI. And we want it to like be represented our whole life. So whether it's just working on our own personal development, Where is it working on financial? Where is it working in on physical fitness, speech development, anything that can actually be utilized to actually better us. We want to we want to give you guys like a close view of that. But I've also got to say this is the disclaimer right here, right? We're not telling you guys to do anything right. that we are doing at all. Don't follow us word for word and stuff like that. We're just documenting our own journey. Right. We're not saying that we're experts at anything. Right. So all this is we just documenting our journey and yes, yes. So don't blame us if you try something and it go left field. That's not our fault. But we definitely want to, just be an inspiration to people and use this for educational purposes. That you may find your own journey with AI, whether in your 40s, your 20s, whatever. But that's the whole premise of Built Different AI. Anything to say on that one?
Because everybody uses AI differently, so it's not going to always be the same. Some people know it better than others. Some utilize it different from others. So it's going to be different for everybody.
Yeah. So right now, one of my lessons I'm going to try to do this week, because I'm also involved in like financial literacy, and I'm very heavy into like learning and investing and things of that nature. So a lot of these portfolios, or a lot of these like Robinhood, public, a lot of these portfolios, they're allowing now agentic. So the agentic AI. So basically, you can set up Claude Code or particular whatever AI you're using, but mine specifically would be Claude Code, and you can prompt your AI to actually invest for you. Now, again, you have to set the prompt that it's not doing overtaking what you may not have suggested, because if you do that, it will do that. So it's basically you have to set it up to like, no, you don't do anything unless you come to me first. Once you find the information, then I will give the approval whether you're going to buy that or not. So one of my limitations that occurred is that I was trying to do it all on mobile phone. Well, for this particular thing, it's not on mobile phone. You have to have a desktop or a laptop. So that will be my journey for the week, to learn how to set that up, because I'm very interested to see, how AI is able to use my prompts to actually develop particular stock picking for me, and kind of be out of sight, out of mind, but not out of sight, out of mind. Because I'm not going to have the AI just running wild. I'm not doing it. Again, it's an assistant. It's there to help you if you utilize it correctly. I'm not leaning heavily on AI, but I'm utilizing it because this is the technology that we have. A lot of people they frown on technology, but throughout our whole life, whether you studied or lived, technology has always occurred. Whether a person was doing horse and carriage and the car came along, whether the person didn't have a refrigerator to store it, or you have to cook that day and then throw away your food, and somebody came with a refrigerating system with the Freon, washing machines. You used to hand wash, your clothes. So, I mean, just think about it. Just like over 200 years ago, like there was no airplanes, like, imagine you being kind of the first one to step on a commercial airplane. Like, if you're accustomed to traveling by land or traveling by train, that had to be very frightful to get on that first airplane to travel overseas, travel over the water. It had to be uncomfortable. Now there are airports everywhere. People like literally just take it for granted. So like, man, they just get their plane tickets and fly out to wherever they want to go. So technology has always been around. Now I know what people are going to say, that it's a lot different. Like AI is a model that actually thinks, and that's true. That is true. That's an element that you definitely have to consider, because I've heard stories where AI has been blackmailing people, because you're giving it access to certain your data. So be careful when you do that as well. But it is a technology that I believe that if you're not using it, the competitors are. So you're just going to be further and further behind if you're not even trying to attempt to see how you can utilize this in your everyday life. Well, what you think about that one, Jaden?
As Bernard said, talks about how the AI pretty much does things that you don't exactly want it to do. People are complaining about it doing this, doing that, but that's why that's the part where you have to set out guardrails and rules for it to not to do what you didn't want it to do. And that's what a lot of people don't seem to really think about or really understand about AI. And AI technology, technically AI is always existed.
Mm-hmm.
It's just gotten to an advanced point to where we can do stuff like what we're doing right now, like these websites, tools, these interfaces, machinery. Yeah, AI could be used for many different types of purposes. And technology has always been there. It's not going to be the same. It's always going to be upgrading and advancing. And obviously, people are not. That's the thing about human beings, that we're not comfortable with change.
Yes.
That's something that a lot of people tend to struggle on. And the best we can do is just adapt. Because again, me and him, we never used AI. We never used to be on AI like we are right now.
Yes.
So it's something that we just have to adapt and kind of understand this is just how it is now. And the amount of bad things that we are, or you are heard or seen, is because people utilize AI in bad ways,
Mm-hmm.
but also good ways as well.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a good and bad in everything.
Yes.
So that's pretty much normal. But me and Bernard, we're trying to bring the good side of AI.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're also going to bring the cons as well, but we want to bring out more of the good side as well that a lot of people don't see. So that's something that me and Bernard really want to do for these types of podcasts.
So these podcasts are going to change. Again, this is our first one, and I'm pretty excited about it. So we're not trying to come off as lecturing you as well, right? Like we're not no professors. We don't work at any of these major hubs that's doing AI and stuff like that. But we just going to be the test subjects.
Right.
That's basically what that is.
Our
Yes, we're gonna be the so and for my utilization, I'll just give you this. Like if it wasn't really for AI, I wouldn't be doing this. Like I wouldn't know where to start. I wouldn't even know how to operate, what I'm supposed to get. I wouldn't even know how to do that. So this is one of the test subjects right now. Like how do you start a podcast? Like a lot of you probably were just expertise at it because you may be in the media, social media contact. That's not my background. That's not my background at all. Yeah, but here we are, and AI gave us the step-by-step blueprint of how to do this all. So we're looking forward to this journey, the ups and downs, but more the ups,
Yeah.
and I'm just looking forward to seeing all the people that support. Again, you find us on YouTube at Built AI. It has a hyphen B on that, and you'll see my picture on there. But at some point, I'm going to switch that picture because I'm not just a solo. So this is my partner out here, Jaden, and we're gonna make this go. And I'm looking forward to seeing you guys and seeing what we're gonna be able to bring to you all next week on our episode 2. But this is our episode 1, our first episode. So congratulations to AI, congratulations to Jaden. Yeah. So we're gonna be signing off, and we'll be seeing you next week. So you guys take it easy.
Let us know what you guys think.
All right.